When I was outside Yangzhou City setting up shelters and handing out porridge to poor people, I happened to be recognized by Lord Yushir. He recognized me as the eldest daughter of the general's mansion who had gone missing years ago. When I returned to the grand residence, the atmosphere in the entire courtyard was extremely tense. The adopted daughter, Su Huan, had a guilty look on her face. Big sister, life outside, exposed to wind and sun, must have been very hard for you, right? I had just opened my mouth, but she wiped her tears and suddenly knelt on the stone floor. It is this younger sister's fault. Big sister, please don't blame father and mother. After you return to the family, I will definitely give this marriage back to you. My mother quickly bent down and helped her up. Her face was full of reluctance. Silly girl, no one in this family can take away your wonderful marriage. As for Qing, mother will find another good family for her. Although it may not be as noble as the Duke's mansion, it certainly won't be bad. I was just about to speak. At that moment, the young master who had once been betrothed to me barged in. He pulled Su Huan into his arms. The way he looked at me was full of disgust. Although you and I had a childhood engagement, all these years it was Huaner who stayed by my side. In this lifetime, she is the only woman I recognize as my proper wife. If you insist on marrying me, then lower your standards and become a concubine. I sighed helplessly. Actually, I only came to tell them something. Back in Qingzhou, I had already privately pledged myself to someone else. The day I was recognized and brought back, I had been busy distributing porridge to poor people. It was this old acquaintance, the imperial censor, who recognized me. He and my father had been childhood friends, the kind who practically grew up naked together. I got separated from my parents when I was 6 years old. At that time, our family was visiting Yangzhou. I was still young and didn't know the streets. I saw an older sister making sugar figurines by the roadside and couldn't move my feet. When I turned around again, the boat my parents were riding had already drifted far away. I had nowhere to shelter from the wind and rain. I could only stay in a broken temple with holes on all sides. Fortunately, heaven did not push me onto a dead end. A traveling old doctor happened to be resting in that ruined temple. Seeing that I was a lonely little girl with no one to care for me, he took me in. He personally taught me medicine and how to prepare herbs. 2 years ago, a terrible epidemic suddenly broke out in Yangzhou. The governor of Yangzhou went all the way to Medicine King Valley and begged my master to come save people. My master was already old. His legs and feet were no longer strong, so I simply took over the task myself. At first, the governor did not believe in me at all. After all, I was only a young girl. What real ability could I possibly have? Fortunately, the epidemic was severe, but I still managed to stop it. First, I isolated all the infected people. Then I boiled huge pots of medicinal soup. After about a month, the disease was finally suppressed. Now that life had become more stable, I often worked together with kind-hearted merchants. We distributed hot porridge to poor people. By coincidence, the imperial censor happened to pass by while inspecting the area. He recognized me immediately. When I was little, aside from my parents and elder brother, he was the closest elder to me. The moment he saw me, he grabbed my arm tightly. His eyes became red with tears. I knew why. He had no children of his own. Since I was young, he had always treated me like his daughter. Qing, come home with uncle. Your parents have missed you so much these years. Originally, I wanted to refuse. After all, I had wandered outside for so many years. I never once heard any news of them searching everywhere for me. Besides, I already regarded the old doctor as my own grandfather. But after thinking carefully, blood was still blood, so in the end, I followed him back to the capital. As soon as I arrived at the general's mansion, a servant looked at me with contempt. Where did this beggar come from? How dare you barge into the general's mansion? Are you itching for a beating? I had seen this kind of contemptuous look hundreds of times before. I was already used to it. There was no need to get angry. I politely said, please inform the general. Tell him that Qing has returned. The servant's expression changed instantly. He bowed repeatedly and invited me inside. It seemed father and mother had already informed the servants beforehand. When I saw the apricot tree that I had planted with my parents as a child had been replaced with rich peonies, my heart felt a little bitter. Then a loud crying voice pulled me back to reality. It was a young girl's tearful voice. Father, mother, now that big sister has returned, are you going to throw me out of this family? My mother immediately comforted her. Huan girl, you will always be mother's daughter. Father and mother would never bear to drive you away. My elder brother also spoke. That's right. You will always be the little sister that big brother protects. It was mother and big brother's voices. I stepped onto the stone stairs and slowly pushed open the door. The entire room froze when they saw me. The first person to recover was the richly dressed girl standing nearest to me. I guessed she must be the adopted daughter, Su Huan. With a guilty expression, she hurried over and tightly grabbed my wrist. Big sister, life outside, exposed to wind and sun, must have been very hard, right? Although her voice sounded gentle, Her hand was using a great deal of force. It hurt enough to make me frown, but I did not cry out. She was probably hoping that the pain would make me instinctively push her away. What she did not know was that during the years I struggled outside, I had suffered far worse. I had once had my feet bitten open by large rats. I had endured poison insects burrowing through my flesh. I had suffered pains that ordinary people could never tolerate, and I had survived them year after year. After she finally let go, I was about to answer. Instead, she wiped away her tears and suddenly knelt on the stone floor. It is this younger sister's fault. Big sister, please don't blame father and mother. After you return to the family, I will return this marriage to you. Mother immediately bent down and helped her up. Her face was full of concern. Huan girl, no one in this family will take away your good marriage. As for Qing, I will find another good family for her. Although it won't match the Duke's mansion, it certainly won't be bad. Before I could respond, my former fiancé suddenly burst into the room. He wrapped his arms around Su Huan protectively. The way he looked at me was filled with disdain. Although you and I were betrothed as children, Huaner has been with me all these years. She is the only woman I recognize as my proper wife. If you insist on marrying me, then you can only be a concubine. This man was Gu Shiren, the legitimate heir of the Duke's mansion. He was skilled in both literature and martial arts. His calligraphy was famous throughout the capital. Many noble young ladies dreamed of marrying him, but as I looked at him, all I saw was a pale face. Dark circles hung beneath his eyes. His steps were unsteady. It was obvious he had spent far too much time indulging himself. One glance told me his body was already being worn down. Before I could speak, Su Huan suddenly added, "A country girl like you doesn't even deserve to be a concubine. At best, you could become a servant girl in his bedchamber." I almost dropped my jaw. Which eye of hers saw me liking him? Was the disgust on my face not obvious enough? I could only rub my forehead helplessly. Seeing the situation, Mother hurried forward. She grabbed my arm. Her voice sounded gentle, but every word carried mockery and warning. Qing, your sister is one of the most talented young ladies in the capital, and Shiren is one of the greatest young talents. You grew up in the countryside. Your horizons are too narrow. Even if you married into the Duke's mansion, you and Shiren would have nothing in common. Halfway through her sentence, she stopped. Even she felt too ashamed to continue. I shook off her hand and said coldly, "When did I ever agree to become his concubine?" Gu Shiren's face immediately turned green with anger. His teeth ground together. "Don't tell me you're still dreaming of becoming my proper wife?" Su Huan burst into tears. My elder brother finally spoke. Qing, Huaner and the young master grew up together. No one can separate them. Besides, Huaner is very close to Princess Omping. If I can successfully marry Princess Omping in the future, my official career will be smooth. Only then did I fully understand. My elder brother no longer treated me like family. He wanted to use Su Huan's connections to climb higher. 10 years had changed everything. The family that once loved me had completely changed. The affection of blood relations had long been worn away. Although I had already expected this outcome, it still hurt. It felt as though needles were stabbing my heart. I forced a smile. "Don't worry, big brother. I have absolutely no intention of fighting your precious sister over this so-called young master." The words "so-called young master" landed like a slap. Gu Shiren's face immediately became ugly. His hands clenched tightly. After all, the person who once proudly declared he would marry me with 8 grand bridal sedans was him. The person who willingly crawled on the ground and let me ride on his back like a horse was him. The person who picked flowers every morning and placed them in my hair was him. And now, 10 years later, the person humiliating me in front of everyone was also him. He could no longer meet my eyes. The room became silent. Only Su Huan's sobbing remained. Everyone seemed to realize that I was actually the one who had suffered the most. After a while, Gu Shiren muttered, "If you truly insist on marrying into my family, I will treat you well in the future." I cut him off immediately. No need. When I was in Qingzhou, I already found the man I love. Gu Shiren looked as though he had been struck by lightning. Father, mother, and elder brother all stared at me in shock. Then they exploded. "You're an unmarried girl. How can you privately pledge yourself to a man? If word gets out, the general's mansion will lose all face." Mother quickly added, "Exactly. Marriage is decided by parents. Without approval and matchmakers, how can you act so shamelessly?" My elder brother joined in as well. "Little sister, even if you grew up in the countryside, a girl's reputation still matters." Su Huan stopped pretending to cry. Although her words sounded like concern, the smugness in her eyes was impossible to hide. "Big sister, you haven't even married yet, but you've already ruined your reputation." My fists clenched tightly. Before she could continue, a loud slap landed directly across her face. Her cheek immediately swelled up, tears filled her eyes. She covered her face and cried pitifully. Gushurin instantly pulled her into his arms. Pointing at me, he shouted, "A wild girl raised outside really has no manners. Huaner was only telling the truth. How dare you hit her?" I looked at him coldly. Then, another loud slap. This time it landed on his face. His cheek instantly swelled too. Looking at the two of them clutching their faces, I almost laughed. Their swollen faces were surprisingly symmetrical. My elder brother became furious. "This is the general's mansion, not some place where you can act like a thug." I calmly rubbed my reddened palm. Then I slowly looked up at him. The moment our eyes met, he instinctively stepped backward, as if he were afraid I would slap him too. I sneered, "I'm only rubbing my sore hand. Why are you trembling so much, big brother?" He coughed awkwardly and looked away. Father and mother were furious. Father pointed at me. "You outrageous girl. How dare you hit your sister? You have absolutely no manners." He took a deep breath. "It's all because your mother and I never taught you properly. That's why you became so unruly. Starting today, you will stay in your room. You will study the classics. You will copy women's virtues 10 times every day. Now go apologize to your sister immediately." I laughed coldly. She slandered my reputation. As her elder sister, I merely taught her a lesson. What is wrong with that? If I don't stop her now, she'll spread those rumors everywhere. Then it won't just be me who loses face. Father froze, because reputation was the thing he valued most. He glanced at Su Huan, then sighed. "Go apologize to your elder sister." Su Huan's face became red with humiliation. Reluctantly, she knelt halfway down. "Big sister, I was wrong. Please forgive me." I grabbed her shoulder and forced her lower. "If you're apologizing, then do it properly." Su Huan bit her lip tightly. Tears filled her eyes. Gushurin immediately stepped forward and grabbed my wrist. His face was full of anger. "Su Qing, don't go too far. I've already agreed to let you enter my household as a concubine, yet you're still not satisfied?" I looked at his bloodshot eyes and laughed coldly. "Young master, you're truly generous. Should I kneel and thank you for such a great favor?" He snorted proudly and flicked his sleeve. "This is already the greatest compromise I can make." I stared at him. "Are your ears stuffed with donkey hair?" "I already said I have someone I love." He looked unconvinced. "You're only pretending. You just want to be my proper wife." I became so angry that I laughed. "I don't want to marry into your family. Why are you more upset than I am?" A smug expression appeared on his face. "Stop pretending to be noble. When we were children, I merely took one bite of your osmanthus cake. You pinned me to the ground and beat me. You're possessive by nature. There's no way you could willingly give me to someone else." I struggled to suppress my anger. "Your skin is really thicker than a city wall." His face darkened. Just as he was about to speak, Mother hurried forward. She stood protectively in front of him. "Young master, there's no need to force yourself. Qing grew up in the countryside. She can't read much. If she entered the Duke's mansion, she would only embarrass your family. You only need to wait 3 months and marry Huaner. As for Qing, her father and I will find her another husband." I stared at the woman before me. The woman who had carried me for 10 months. The woman who had nearly died giving birth to me. The woman who once treated me like the apple of her eye. Yet now she was willing to push her own daughter into the mud. My heart turned cold. The pain returned. It felt as though countless needles were stabbing me. Meanwhile, Su Huan looked at me smugly. I spoke calmly. "I already told everyone. I have someone I love. Mother doesn't need to trouble herself finding me a husband." Mother frowned. "Marriage is decided by parents. Without your father and me agreeing, it doesn't count." I nodded. "Then let's wait. In a few days, he will come with betrothal gifts." My elder brother brought me to the place where I would stay. It was an abandoned courtyard. Wild weeds grew everywhere. No flowers. No decorations. It was obvious no one had lived there for years. The moment the door opened, dust flew into my face. The smell of mold nearly made me sick. Spider webs covered the corners. My elder brother looked disgusted. He didn't even step inside. "This courtyard hasn't been used for years, but it's still better than the grass hut you lived in. Stop being picky." Then he immediately turned to leave. I looked around the ruined room and sneered. Even the servants probably lived better than this. I slammed the door shut. Then I walked directly to Su Huan's luxurious courtyard. The moment she saw me, she rushed over. "Big sister, what are you doing?" I ignored her. I placed my luggage down, then sat in the best chair. "If I remember correctly, this used to be my room." Su Huan covered her mouth and laughed. "Big sister must be mistaken. Your courtyard is over there." She pointed toward the abandoned courtyard. I slapped her hand away. "This is the room of the true daughter." I looked at her coldly. The true daughter should naturally live here. Her eyes widened. Soon everyone arrived. The moment my elder brother saw me sitting there, he grabbed my arm. "This room belongs to Huaner." I remained silent. Instead, I waited until father and mother arrived. Then I suddenly collapsed onto the ground. Tears immediately filled my eyes. "Big brother, I know you love second sister more, but you can't force me to live in that ruined courtyard. I'm scared. I understand. You care more about her. I'll leave right now." I grabbed my luggage and rushed toward the door. Father and mother hurriedly stopped me. I cried so hard I almost lost my breath. Mother patted my back. "Lin Zhou, how could you treat your own sister like this?" My elder brother froze. He clearly hadn't expected me to use this tactic. He quickly tried to explain, but father and mother didn't listen. Everyone knew how much he spoiled Su Huan. I calmly explained everything that had happened. Father's face darkened. "I told you to arrange a room for Qing. I never told you to throw her into a ruined courtyard." My elder brother lowered his head, not daring to speak. Seeing the situation, Su Huan immediately knelt. "Father, mother, it's my fault. I'll move out of this room tonight. I'll give it back to big sister." I immediately corrected her. "Not give it back. Return it to its rightful owner." Her face became pale. Father and mother looked heartbroken. Mother quickly helped her up. "There are plenty of rooms in this courtyard. You don't need to move into that ruined place." Then she ordered the servants to prepare a room in the west wing. I wiped my tears. There are so many empty rooms. Yet big brother insisted on sending me to the ruined courtyard. Does he dislike me that much? No matter what, I'm still his biological sister. My elder brother stammered. "I was afraid you'd disturb Huaner's rest. She needs to maintain her health. She'll become the duke's wife soon." I immediately lowered my head again. Then perhaps I should return to the ruined courtyard. I wouldn't want to disturb her sleep. The moment I moved, father and mother grabbed me. They forced me to stay. Soon afterward, they dragged my elder brother to the ancestral hall. Before long, the sounds of whipping echoed throughout the mansion, along with his screams. The punishment lasted until midnight. I slept exceptionally well that night. The next morning, my elder brother limped out of the ancestral hall. The moment he saw me, his face darkened. At breakfast, mother assigned a maid to serve me, but everyone could tell she belonged to Su Huan's side. After all, she had been selected from Su Huan's servants. I couldn't reject her openly, so I kept her by my side for now. Su Huan had 4 personal maids. I only received one, and even that one was Su Huan's loyal follower. The favoritism was obvious. After returning to the capital, I continued my old work. Every day I went to the medical clinic to treat patients. The clinic was always crowded. People pushed and shoved for seats. I often worked until late at night. One evening, I returned home covered in dust. Mother was waiting in the main hall. The moment she saw me, she frowned. "Where have you been? Why are you only coming back now?" I had already informed the servants. I had said I would be working at the clinic and wouldn't return for dinner. Clearly someone had deliberately withheld the message. I explained calmly. "Mother, I know medicine. The clinic needed me. I already asked Cui Ju to tell you." The maid immediately turned pale. Then she knelt. "Miss, you never told me that." I looked at her coldly. She immediately started trembling. I turned to mother. "Mother, if this servant is useless, then dismiss her." The maid panicked. She repeatedly kowtowed. "Please spare me. I wasn't the one who wanted to hide the message. It was 12th Miss. She ordered me not to tell master and madam. She wanted everyone to misunderstand the eldest miss. She wanted the family to drive her out, so no one could compete with her position." Mother instantly looked furious, but not at Su Huan. Instead, she shouted at the maid. "Shut your mouth. How dare you slander Huaner?" The maid cried and clung to mother's skirt. "It's true. It was Miss Huan who ordered it. She even said that if the eldest miss was ever seen meeting a man alone, I should immediately report it. Then she could catch her in the act. Master would be so embarrassed that he would drive the eldest miss out of the house." Mother's face immediately became ugly. She clearly wanted to suppress the matter. Without investigating further, she ordered people to drag the maid away. The maid was sent to clean night soil and wash chamber pots. After the maid was dragged away, mother hurried over to me. "Qing, Huaner is just a little spoiled. She could never do something so vicious. That maid must be holding a grudge and trying to frame her." Seeing that I remained expressionless, mother became nervous. She continued defending Su Huan. "Huaner has been pampered since childhood, but her heart isn't bad. You are the elder sister. You should be more tolerant of her." I laughed coldly. "Am I not tolerant enough already? She occupied my place as the general's daughter for 10 years. That wasn't enough. She took my fiancé. That wasn't enough. She took all of father's and mother's affection. That wasn't enough either. What else does she want me to give up?" Mother fell silent. She knew I was right, but after a while she still forced herself to speak. "Qing, your suffering isn't Huaner's fault. If you hadn't wandered off as a child, none of this would have happened." Those words struck me harder than a slap. So in the end, the blame was mine, because I got lost as a child? After I disappeared, they had not searched desperately for me. Instead, they quickly adopted a sweet and obedient daughter, then gradually forgot me. In the end, end, Mother only punished Su Huan by deducting 1 month's allowance. And because she didn't want Su Huan to feel singled out, she deducted mine as well. The fairness was laughable. Perhaps Mother noticed the disappointment in my eyes. She tried to explain, but I only smiled faintly. Mother, I understand. The moment I said those words, her hand froze, because she knew exactly what I meant. Soon, the annual flower appreciation gathering arrived. Both Su Huan and I received invitations. Mother prepared clothes and jewelry for us. The night before the gathering, she brought me a set of dazzling jewelry. The pieces were beautiful, elegant, noble. I had never seen accessories so valuable. Mother smiled warmly. This was part of my wedding dowry. One day it will become your dowry. For a brief moment, warmth returned to my heart. I carefully accepted it. That night, I even made a batch of pastries myself. I planned to give them to Mother the next day. The next morning, while carrying the pastries, I stopped outside Mother's room. Then I heard voices inside. A servant was speaking. Madam, are you really giving the phoenix hairpin that old madam gave you to second miss? Mother sighed heavily. The servant sounded angry. But eldest miss is your biological daughter. She suffered outside for 10 years. Why are you still treating her unfairly? Mother's voice trembled. You think I don't feel sorry for Qing? She is my flesh and blood. But Huaner grew up surrounded by luxury. She always wants the best. If I suddenly start treating Qing better, Huaner will resent me. Huaner is sensitive. She cannot suffer any grievances. As for Qing, I'll make it up to her slowly in the future. My hand trembled. The plate slipped from my fingers. The pastries crashed onto the ground. The sound startled everyone. Mother and the servant rushed outside. When they saw me kneeling there beside the shattered pastries, both froze. I quietly picked up the ruined cakes. Then I walked to the pig trough and dumped all of them inside. Mother stood there in shock. The entire mansion soon learned about the incident. Not long afterward, Su Huan hurried over. Her eyes were red. She held the phoenix hairpin out toward me. Big sister, I don't want it anymore. Please don't blame Mother. She only loves me too much. Tears fell onto my hand. I calmly wiped them away with a handkerchief. Su Huan's face turned pale. My elder brother immediately stepped forward. Huaner is already giving it to you. Don't push your luck. Su Huan instantly began crying again. She looked as though she might faint. My elder brother quickly supported her. I looked at the hairpin. Then I looked at them. The hairpin belongs to whoever Mother gave it to. It has nothing to do with me. What belongs to me cannot be taken away. But what doesn't belong to me? I don't want it even if it's handed to me for free. The room became silent. Mother suddenly burst into tears. Qing, are you blaming Mother? Huaner is about to marry into the Duke's mansion. If she loses the support of the General's mansion now, how will she survive there? You are the true daughter. No one can take that title from you. What more do you want? I gently withdrew my arm. Being able to return home is already enough. I don't ask for anything else. The moment those words left my mouth, Mother's legs nearly gave out. She grabbed the table for support. As for the phoenix hairpin, I left it on the table. I didn't take it. Whoever wanted it could keep it. It had nothing to do with me. The next day I wore a simple outfit. I didn't wear any of the jewelry Mother had given me. My elder brother frowned. Why are you dressed so plainly? Do you want everyone to think the General's mansion can't afford clothes for its eldest daughter? I replied calmly. I'm simply used to dressing this way. The flower appreciation gathering was crowded with handsome young men and beautiful noble ladies. Su Huan quickly became the center of attention. Because she was known as Princess Onping's close friend, many noble daughters surrounded her and flattered her. Meanwhile, I quietly sat in a corner. Su Huan kept glancing in my direction, clearly hoping I would feel jealous. I ignored her completely. Then, just before noon, she suddenly ran toward me, with a bright smile on her face. And the next second, splash, she fell backward into the koi pond. Fortunately, Gushuren immediately jumped in and pulled her out. The crowd erupted. Everyone pointed at me, accusing me, blaming me. I couldn't even be bothered to explain. Gushuren glared at me. Su Qing, I can't believe after 10 years you're still this vicious. Su Huan cried miserably. Big sister, I know you dislike me, but I never thought you'd want me dead. Then she staggered to her feet. If my existence causes big sister so much pain, I'll just die. She rushed toward a large red pillar. My elder brother hurriedly stopped her. She collapsed into Gushuren's arms. I walked over and looked at her coldly. Enough acting. You didn't even hit the pillar. Who exactly are you performing for? Su Qing, don't go too far. Gushuren shoved me angrily. His eyes were full of rage. So many people saw it. You pushed Huaner into the pond, and now you're still denying it? Just then, a cold female voice sounded from behind the crowd. I saw everything. Everyone turned around. A richly dressed noblewoman walked forward. My elder brother immediately smiled and bowed. Princess Omping. So this was the famous Princess Omping, the woman my elder brother desperately wanted to marry. Princess Omping didn't even look at him. She walked directly to me, then glanced at Su Huan. I saw it clearly. Su Huan jumped into the pond herself. The entire gathering fell silent. Everyone stared at Su Huan in disbelief. No one expected the celebrated talented lady of the capital to frame her own sister, but once they thought about it, it made sense. She was adopted. I was the true daughter. Of course she feared losing everything. Princess Omping's face was cold. Su Huan, using my name everywhere to elevate yourself. Was that fun? Su Huan's face instantly became pale. Then her eyes rolled back. She fainted on the spot. The truth spread throughout the capital almost immediately. Her reputation was ruined. From that day onward, she rarely left her room. Even after everything she had done, father and mother still refused to punish her. Instead, they worried about how thin she had become from sadness. A few days later, everyone was gathered around the dining table. Father and mother exchanged glances. Neither seemed willing to speak. Finally, my elder brother cleared his throat. Huaner will soon marry into the Duke's mansion. Because of what happened at the flower gathering, she is in poor spirits. Father and mother think. He hesitated, then continued. For the time being, perhaps you should move out of the general's mansion. Once Huaner is settled in the Duke's mansion, you can come back. I laughed. Coldly. Why should I leave my own home? My elder brother frowned. Because ever since you returned, Huaner has suffered. Everything happened because of you. You should take responsibility. I looked at him in disbelief. Then I slowly smiled. If that's the case, please prepare a formal document severing family ties. The room became silent. Father's face changed. I continued. From now on, whether I live or die will have nothing to do with the general's mansion. I won't interfere in your lives. And you won't interfere in mine. Father slammed his hand against the table. This is your home. You can return whenever you want. I carefully folded the separation document, then stood up, without looking back. When I reached the doorway, I paused briefly. Then I said quietly, long ago, this stopped being my home. The large red gate closed behind me, and with that sound, the final connection between us was cut. Fortunately, I had already prepared. I purchased a small courtyard in the southern part of the city. It wasn't large, but it was enough. Life gradually became peaceful. Every day I continued treating patients at the clinic. One afternoon, while I was busy working, a pair of black boots stopped in front of me. I looked up, and froze. A handsome face appeared before my eyes. Qing girl, have you been well? The moment I saw him, my eyes lit up. It was Xiaoyu, the man I loved, the man I had met during the epidemic in Yangzhou. At that time, he was a prince sent by the emperor to investigate secretly. Unfortunately, he became infected. He was actually my very first patient in Yangzhou. Back then, nobody trusted my medical skills. The local people preferred to wait for imperial physicians. Only Xiaoyu trusted me. After drinking the medicine I prepared, his condition improved day by day. Later, he often came to help me. At first I only considered him a friend. Then one day, after 2 months together, he confessed his feelings. Only then did I realize why a prince would willingly carry water and perform chores at a humble clinic. After struggling with my feelings for a month, I finally accepted him. But soon afterward, I was brought back to the capital. We had been separated for more than half a year. Every day I stared at the red bean bracelet he had given me, missing him terribly. Now he stood before me once again. I was overjoyed, yet I still hesitated. I never wanted to return to the capital. But you're a prince. I'm only a village girl. Your father, the prince, will never approve. That's why I returned to acknowledge my family. I needed the title of general's daughter. Before I could finish speaking, Xiaoyu pulled me into his arms. Don't worry, I'll find a way. I will definitely marry you properly. His voice was firm. His embrace was warm. For the first time in a long while, I felt safe. Soon after came the empress's birthday banquet. Xiaoyu and I entered the palace together. The moment we entered, I saw Su Huan and Gu Shiren seated among the honored guests. I originally intended to sit somewhere inconspicuous, but Xiaoyu held my hand tightly. Don't be afraid, I'm here. Only then did I relax. He led me to sit beside him. Su Huan's eyes widened in shock. Gu Shiren followed her gaze. When he saw me sitting beside Xiaoyu, his expression darkened immediately. He clearly couldn't accept it. The woman he had looked down upon, the woman he had cast aside, was now sitting beside a prince. His jealousy was obvious. Finally he sneered. So after leaving the general's mansion, you climbed into a prince's bed. The moment those words left his mouth, my patience ended. I picked up a cup of wine, then splashed it directly onto his face. Gu Shiren exploded with anger. "Have you lost your mind?" I smiled coldly. "Young master, your mouth is filthy. I was simply helping wash it." He raised his hand as if to strike me. Before he could move, Xiao Yu slapped his arm away. The temperature around us seemed to drop instantly. Xiao Yu stared at him. His voice was calm, but terrifying. "Gu Shiren, are you trying to hit my future wife in front of me?" The entire hall went silent. Future wife? Everyone was shocked, especially Su Huan. Her face became twisted with disbelief. Years ago, she had repeatedly tried to approach Xiao Yu. He had always ignored her. In fact, he once publicly declared that he would rather remain unmarried for life than marry Su Huan. That humiliation had forced her to turn her attention toward Gu Shiren. And now, the man who had rejected her was openly protecting me. Her eyes were full of hatred. Then she suddenly sneered. "So what if Prince Xiao likes her? The Prince of Xiao Manor will never agree. Let's wait and see." At that moment, Xiao Yu held my hand even tighter, as though he feared I might disappear. The banquet continued. The hall was filled with nobles and officials. Everyone was whispering. No one expected Prince Xiao to publicly acknowledge me. Then suddenly, Xiao Yu stood up. Before anyone could react, he pulled me with him. Together we walked to the center of the hall. "Majesty, I ask for permission to marry Su Qing." The entire hall exploded. Everyone was stunned. In this world, status mattered greatly. A prince and a common-born woman were worlds apart. Even the emperor looked surprised. At first, he remained silent, but Xiao Yu calmly explained everything. He told the emperor about the epidemic in Yangzhou, about how I had saved countless lives, about how I had controlled the disaster, about all the people I had helped. The emperor listened carefully. The more he heard, the more impressed he became. Finally, he laughed loudly. "Excellent. Such talent deserves recognition." Immediately, he bestowed a noble title upon me. I was granted the rank of county princess. Then he personally approved our marriage. The entire hall erupted again. Gu Shiren's face turned white. His eyes were full of disbelief. You're the famous miracle doctor from Yangzhou?" He could hardly speak. All these years he had looked down on me. Yet the renowned healer everyone admired had been standing before him the entire time. Su Huan suddenly screamed. "Impossible. She's lying. She's only a country girl. How could she possibly save a city?" Everyone looked at her as if she had gone mad. The palace guards quickly dragged her away. The emperor was furious. As punishment for causing a disturbance at the banquet, she received 30 strokes of the board. After the banquet ended, Xiao Yu accompanied me home. Our carriage had barely stopped when I saw my elder brother waiting outside. It was obvious why he was there. He still dreamed of marrying Princess Onping. Now that I was engaged to Xiao Yu, I was connected to Princess Onping through him. He wanted my help. The moment he saw me, he forced a smile. "Qing, father and mother miss you. Why don't you come home for dinner?" I looked at him coldly. "What home? I am no longer part of the general's mansion." His smile vanished immediately. He pointed at me angrily. "You are mother's biological daughter. The blood of the Su family flows through your veins. Now that you've become important, you've forgotten your family?" I laughed. "If you have a problem with it, go complain to Prince Xiao." His face twisted. "Don't think I won't." I calmly took out the family severance document, the one father had signed. "If you show this to the emperor, who do you think will be punished? The general's mansion? Or me?" His face turned green. Then he stormed away. A few days later, Gu Shiren came looking for me. He still hoped things could return to how they were before. The moment I saw him, I felt disgusted. He stood outside my courtyard, looking miserable. "Qing, I was deceived by Su Huan. I made a mistake." I didn't even bother answering. Instead, I picked up a basin of cold water and dumped it directly over his head. He stood there dripping wet. Shocked, I looked at him coldly. "Your face makes me sick." He could only leave in humiliation, like a drowned dog. A month later, Su Huan finally married into the Duke's mansion. Before the wedding, Mother secretly came to see me. She looked older than before. There was hesitation in her eyes. "Qing, I hope our family can reconcile." She even offered to give me half of her private dowry, but before long, the truth emerged. The reason she had come wasn't because she missed me. It was because she wanted more wealth for Su Huan. She sighed. "Huaner may suffer in her husband's household, so I gave her a larger dowry. You're already a county princess. The emperor rewards you generously. You don't really need these things." Only then did I understand. She wasn't offering me half. She wanted to explain why she had given almost everything to Su Huan. I smiled faintly. "Your private property belongs to you. You may give it to whomever you wish. It has nothing to do with me. We are no longer family. The little blood relationship we have left no longer matters." Mother's body trembled. She slowly stood up, then left. Her back looked lonely, but my heart no longer moved. Time passed. My elder brother continued pursuing Princess Onping, but she became increasingly annoyed by him. His official career worsened. Father grew older. The general's mansion gradually declined. Without the support of the general's general's mansion, Gu Shiren's position also weakened. His former friends mocked him constantly. As for Su Huan, life inside the duke's mansion became miserable. Mother, desperate to help her, eventually gave her the remaining half of the dowry that had originally been intended for me. Half a year later, Xiao Yu and I were married. The entire capital was decorated in red. Guests filled Prince Xiao's manor. That night, I sat beside Xiao Yu, watching the moon. For the first time in many years, I felt truly happy. 3 years later, the third prince led a rebellion. Troops stormed into the imperial palace. Blood stained the once brilliant halls. In the end, the rebellion failed. The third prince was executed in front of the palace steps. Gu Shiren had been one of the third prince's supporters. All of his allies were arrested. At that time, Su Huan was already pregnant. Mother was heartbroken. She came to find me. Tears streamed down her face as she begged, "Qing, please help. Save the Gu family." I shook my head. I don't have that kind of power. At most, I can help them keep their lives. Mother cried desperately. But Su Huan is your sister. I answered calmly. I don't have such a sister. She took everything that belonged to me. Now she has caused a disaster. Why should I clean up after her? Mother had no answer. She lowered her head and left. Then she sought help from father and my elder brother. But by then, the general's mansion could barely protect itself. No one could save Su Huan. Mother became seriously ill from worry. Not long afterward, she passed away. After the mourning period ended, Gu Shiren and Su Huan were exiled to the south. Later, rumors spread. While traveling toward Lingnan, their convoy encountered bandits. During the chaos, Su Huan and Gu Shiren disappeared. No one ever saw them again. Whether they died or survived, nobody knew. A year later, father brought a young and beautiful woman into the household. Before long, he seemed to have completely forgotten mother, as though all those years together had never existed. At that time, Xiao Yu and I were already living in the south. The boat drifted slowly along the river. The sound of strings echoed softly across the water. I sat at the bow, turning a jade ring in my fingers. 10 years had passed. The Jiangnan region was covered in mist. Xiao Yu and I opened the largest medical clinic in Suzhou. We treated poor people free of charge. We gave away medicine. We boiled soup for those in need. Many of the children I had saved during the epidemic in Yangzhou had grown up. Now they worked in the clinic alongside me. The general's mansion had long since fallen apart. Father's young wife gradually emptied the family's remaining wealth. My elder brother's attempts to rebuild his career all failed. Eventually, he survived only by selling family possessions. As for Gu Shiren and Su Huan, after being sent south, their health deteriorated. In the end, they died because of the consequences of their own greed and selfishness. I never returned to the general's mansion, nor did I spend my days hating them. Instead, I finally understood something. Blood ties are not proof of love. Favoritism is often the greatest disaster within a family. The debts they owed me had long been repaid. By Xiao Yu's tenderness, by the gratitude of the people I helped, by the warmth of the life I built with my own hands. In this life, the most valuable thing is not status, not reputation, not wealth. It is a sincere heart. Kindness should have boundaries. Helping others should be reserved for those who deserve it. Only by staying true to yourself and continuing forward can you eventually find the happiness that belongs to you.